Cooking with the Brewski, and today we're going to be cooking some scallops and 2 packages of sidekicks. Now we brought 2 cups of water and milk to a boil. Now we're dumping in the sidekicks here. Brought it to a slight boil. Now we're going to stir in the sidekicks, the noodles and the flavoring and bacon bits and all that fun stuff. There we go. So it should look like this for the scallops. Oh, there we go. Now they're frozen, so there's no bit of extra water in the pan, which is okay. And this is how it should look for the sidekicks. There we go. Basically, you gotta let that cook until the noodles are all tender and soft. There we go. Now test the old scallops out here. Seems to be cooking along quite nicely. And like I said, I didn't completely thaw it, so there's no bit of extra water in the pan. But that is perfectly okay. It's not like it's going to boil over top, so you'll be fine with that. There we go. Let's check the noodles here. Give this a little stir. Seems to be coming along quite nicely. Alright. So I'm just going to let the noodles cook for another few minutes here, and then we'll test those out. And as for the scallops, I'm going to cook them until they're got a little bit of brown to them. At least that's how I like them. They smell so good. If you ever want to get adventurous, you can buy bacon. Make sure it's thawed out, and you can wrap the scallops in said bacon and put it in the oven. I don't know like temperature or anything, but you can probably look it up online, and you can cook the bacon with the scallops in the oven. Just make sure they're both thawed out though, and then it'll be equally as cooked, and it'll be nice and delicious. Alright, make sure you stir occasionally. Since there is milk, it could burn if you don't stir it occasionally. Maybe that's just my luck, who knows. Alright, so the scallops are coming along quite nicely. Kind of like stir them around occasionally from time to time. Once the noodles are cooked, I usually turn off the stove, just so then when I put the butter in and stuff like that, it won't stick as much to the bottom of the pan. Or you can move it to the next burner that was turned off. Some people do that, so depending on how hot the stove will be when I put the butter in, like, finish stirring, so I let it set, then I'll know for sure like if I should put it on the back burner or just leave it on and just kind of stir it so it's still warm. That is entirely up to you. scallops are starting to look pretty good. So far, so good. And look at that. Alright, let's turn this down a little bit more. It shouldn't be boiling like that. I just have it on a smaller burner, so I turned it up a little bit more so it'll cook a little bit better. Let's say another couple minutes will do for that. And the scallops, just gonna make sure that they're cooked. Like I said, they don't have to be completely brown. You can have like a slight hint of brownness to them. And I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, but this is creamy bacon carbonara sidekicks. So you can see like the noodles and the bacon and stuff like that. That is what is floating to the surface, in case you're wondering what that is. Alright, let's get back to these scallops here. They seem to be cooking quite nicely, like I said before. The extra water there is from the fact that they weren't completely thawed out, so they were still a little bit frozen. And today we're using the same thing I used last time for margarine. Some good old Beckel. It is avocado oil, which is good. It has a source of omega-3, gluten-free, and low in saturated fat. So if anybody wants to eat a little bit healthier, I recommend that compared to regular margarine. Or you can just use butter if you want to go super healthy. You can get it non-salted. This is entirely up to you when it comes to that kind of stuff. Depends on how adventurous you want to be with your health. Alright. So I am going to check to see if the noodles are done. Yep, not bad. Nice and soft, not hard. Alrighty. So I'm going to turn the burner off. Just let it cook a little bit more. Just to be on the safe side. Usually takes about like 8 minutes. And we're at the 8-minute mark now, so I'd say another minute. This says about 8 minutes until, you know, scallops are coming along pretty good. Alright, time to stir the sidekicks. Alrighty. So up next, we are going to add the margarine. got to put a couple tablespoons in it. There we go. Turn down the scallops a little bit because they're starting to get brown. It's hard to multitask sometimes, so if they're not getting browner than you expected, that's okay as well. Alright, so turn off the scallops, so let them cook a little bit longer in the pan. Stir in the butter, and I'll let it set for a bit. Right there. Looks like the scallop should be good. And like I said, as long as they have a little bit of brownness to them, they should be fine. You don't want them too white. And you don't want them like black. That's like the perfect color, like a real light brown, like not all the way through. Just like a slight coloration, you know what I mean? Alright. We're going to continue this into a part 2. And yeah, I'll see you in part number 2 and we'll finish it off.